What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So, I saw something on the Seconds Out video, thumbnail, and then I watched the video, and I thought this was classless. I just got to put this out here. I thought this was really classless. A big channel like Seconds Out, I don't think any channel, I don't care how big or small your channel is, I don't think anybody should be putting false news out. Clickbait to make something look like something was said or done that wasn't. That's dirty. And that makes a lot of people lose respect for you. And in fact, people in the comment sections was bringing that up because what was said was said. Okay, what the title said, those words were said, but in a different contents. And let me explain. So this thumbnail says Claressa Shields' new movie, right? And then it has Savanna Marshall's picture there. And it says, it's a load of crap. And I'm like, wow. First off, first thing that a person's going to think about is, are you saying that this woman is lying about her life, her upbringing, and like the things that happened in the movie? Like what? So no. Basically, that would be like a low blow. Like, it's not like you know this, right? You didn't grow up with her. You don't know what her life consisted of. So that's automatically going to get people like, what? That's clickbait. Using something that was said, but you make it look like it was used in a way that it wasn't. So basically, this is what Savanna Marshall said. Okay. They was asking about her in the movie and how she was depicted in the movie. And basically, what happened was she said, now Savanna said, well, the way they have it in the movie, what they're saying happened is not how it happened. Whatever part she's talking about, I don't know. I didn't see the movie. But the interviewer asked Savanna Marshall, well, are you going to does that make you want to watch the movie to see what happens? And she goes, no, not really, because I know it's going to be a load of crap. So what she's saying is the way she was depicted in the movie, she assumed it's going to be crap because what they show in the trailer, she said it didn't happen that way. I don't know what she's referring to. Now, people will be quick to make a judgment. See, Savanna Marshall said this, Savanna Marshall said that. And this is something that these sneaky-ass reporters do all the time. In fact, I'm willing to bet you the second that this same interviewer or anybody else that saw that video is going to, when they get their chance to talk to Claressa Shields, they're going to say, once again, like they always do, did you hear what Savanna Marshall said about your movie? Well, she said it's a load of crap. And then they're going to wait, let Claressa respond, and go on and on and on, right? And then they're going to, well, what she said was, but what Claressa said, she already said, right? This is what they do. To show you further what I mean, okay, to crystallize my point. Why did he go from asking about how she was depicted in the movie to asking her, do she think Shields can beat Jake Paul? What do you think about her and her title heavyweight championship defense and this and that? Now, Savanna says she doesn't know much about this person to make a real assessment or whatever. And pretty much she doesn't know. So she says she just know that she's a big one, a big girl or whatever, but she didn't really say anything, as far as her credentials and whatever her skill set. She said she doesn't know. Then he's asking about Jake Paul. Do you think Claressa could beat Jake Paul? She says she could be the man. I know you yourself have sparred with men, blah, blah, blah. And this is all to get Savanna to respond so he can add more fuel to the fire when he talks to Claressa. This is a dirty tactic. And see, people might look and see, the problem is everybody they feel like everything is just entertainment. Even something that's a low blow. And then I'm the opposite of that person going, oh, yo, wait till Claressa hear this shit. Yo, you know she gonna respond. Y'all know the GOAT ain't gonna play, right? The GOAT going, It's about to get lit up in this motherfucker. Yo, I can see it right now, bro. You already know. Yo, hit that like and subscribe button. Yo, get in the comments, bro. Let me know what y'all think, yo. Yo, it's crazy. It's getting spicy. I'm telling you, yo. No. All that bullshit. Nah, this is dirty. It's dirty. Now, basically, as far as her opinions on thinking she can beat Jake Paul or not, or Savanna thinking whatever, so what? Who cares? So what? And the reality is this. If Jake Paul could beat Claressa, it's only because she's a female. All right? Because he sucks as a fighter. And the fact that he's in there fighting 58-year-old men that had 8 blood transfusions and shit like that and trying to put himself in the mix of a title fight, and as long as money's good, that's all people care about. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Now, let me say this and make this clear. I respect Savanna Marshall as a fighter. But Savanna Marshall is now saying, and let me make this clear, she'll fight. She just wants to fight with Claressa. She don't care. She'll fight in Flint. She'll fight it anywhere. She wasn't saying that before. That's why the fight didn't happen. Now when Claressa said, wait a minute, I'm the champ. I beat her. I'm undisputed. What the fuck I gotta go back to the UK to fight her for? She don't dictate that to me. I'm the champ. That's not negotiated in our deal. I didn't accept any of these terms. So how the hell is she gonna tell me where the fight's gonna be? Right? And they was going all this shit about, well, because, you know, the market in the UK is bigger than in the US. All this bullshit. Y'all remember that? So now she's saying she'll fight her in Flint or wherever. She just wants to fight. Did you know why? Because Savanna doesn't have anybody else that she can fight that people give a fuck about. Now, the truth of the matter is, she doesn't deserve a third fight. And I'll say third because everybody want to bring up this fucking bullshit Olympic fight. Like, you know, she got beat so easily. And she put up the best fight she could. She never stopped trying. But plain and simple, the skill sets were like here versus here. She dog walked her. Beat her at her own game and everything. What warrants a rematch? When a fight is close. When a fight could have went either way. Even if a fighter wins unanimous decision, but it was the type of thing where the one fighter did enough to edge the rounds, but it was a close fight. Aside from that, what happened in that fight that it warrants a rematch? I mean, if Claressa goes for it, she goes for it, but everybody knows that she wants to unify and become undisputed at heavyweight right now. So, other than, you know, Savanna having 3 more fights left with the PFL, who else does she have in boxing to fight that people care about, right? See, this is the funny thing, and people need to understand this. At the smaller weight classes, Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor are, if you know, for anybody that's willing to go 130 up to 140, okay? Those are the 2 names at the smaller weight classes. Nobody's saying, hey, I want to fight Alicia Baumgardner. Nobody's saying, hey, I want to fight, what's the lady name? The one that, Michaela Mayer. These are not, people are not saying their names like, yo, this is going to be my Super Bowl fight. No. Everybody is trying to gun for either Amanda Serrano or Katie Taylor from 130 up to 140. Okay? The same way that people are trying to shit on the heavyweight division in women's boxing, right? Who's at 147? And even though Michaela Mayer has a belt at 147, she's trying to fight smaller women. Why is she not trying to unify and become undisputed at 147? Shouldn't that be first on the agenda? I'm going to build my legacy. I'm going to be the one in this division. Now, no. Why are they trying to jump up and trying to fight this one and this one and this one and all these? I mean, 1 minute you want to fight Michaela Mayer, the next minute you want to fight Amanda Serrano. Now, because of your history with Alicia Baumgardner, then you want to fight Alicia Baumgardner. It's like they're all over the place. Now, for anybody that's calling Claressa's name in a division where you know she's not going to come to that weight class because she's too big for it, and you're not willing to go up to her weight class, sometimes that's just the way it happens, okay? But that's what you call clout chasing. If you're calling someone's name, but you're not going to that weight class and you can't, or either you can't or you don't want to, and you're trying to get a person to come down to be so drained that, hey, that's the best chance I have. We're not stupid. Why would anybody care about a fight like that? Other than people that just want to say, hey, the same mentality, it's the best chance we got to see that big mouth woman lose. Listen, it's crazy because, I said this a long time ago when Alicia Baumgartner said, Claressa needs me. She don't have nobody else. Remember, I said, well, who the hell does Savanna Marshall have then? Because basically, to have a rematch with Franchon Cruz Dezern, she had, she wound up having a fight with her, but you understand what I'm saying? Franchon did nothing in that fight to warrant a rematch. So if they had a rematch, this would just be, hey, who else is there? No different from if Claressa was to come to 160 to fight Savanna now. That's what it would be. Fuck it, for namesake. Still two of the biggest names in female boxing, right? But there's nothing that warrants that they have to do this. Now, what Claressa has said is that after she, her goal is to become undisputed at heavyweight, and after that, she wants to go down to 154. And then all these people that's talking shit, come see her at 154. One way to shut up Alicia Baumgartner is really simple. Michaela Mayer claims that she'll fight Claressa at 154, right? So that she'll fight. So cool. Let that be the first person ass you kick when you go to 154. Now, if Alicia Baumgartner is going to continue to talk shit, and then she'll probably say things like, oh, she beat somebody already beat. Yeah, you did. I gave you like that much that you pulled it off that you won. Okay? So, regardless, the counter to that would be, okay, so since y'all both beat Michaela, go to 154 like Michaela did. And let's see what goes down. And if her size is going to be constantly coming up as the disadvantage, that's exactly what the excuse would be after Shields would smash her. And then after that, then what? These women, first off, let's not be stupid. Women's boxing, it's not like it's super popular. You just have a handful of names, okay, a handful and a half of names that people recognize, and all of this going back and forth. Well, I really don't see Katie Taylor or Amanda Serrano going to 154 to fight Claressa Shields. I don't even see that shit happening. But hey, hopefully they do. Hopefully they do. And hopefully they can carry the weight and there's no issue. Regardless, once you agree, you agree. Simple. I really hope that they do. I hope all of them. Why? Because as much as I'm against people trying to come down too far in weight or people trying to go up too much in weight, it's like boxing has become this whole thing where the fighters that's willing to fight, people want to hate on them. But the fighters that's just doing all this talking and running their mouths, that's the ones that they get behind. So this will settle all that bullshit. I wouldn't want somebody at 90%, 80% if I'm 100%. If I'm at 90, you at 90, come on, let's go. Point is this. If we come into a fight and things are wrong with you, I don't know about, that's not my problem. But I won't be the one, okay, trying to make you drain yourself down so I can have an advantage because you're weak and I'm not. Because if I can make 147 comfortably, but you have to drain yourself to do it, nah. And I don't need that advantage. You see, people want to stroke their ego with falsehood. I can say I beat you at your best. That's why Bevo says he want Canelo at 168. He already beat him at 175. What's the purpose of him fighting him at 175 for again in a rematch? He'll do the same thing. I want to beat him at the weight he's comfortable at. Isn't that the excuse Canelo fans resort to? But at 168, he's unbeatable. And okay, but Mauricio won't allow that. So, yeah. So And like I said before, for Alicia to commend Terrence Crawford and talking about how he, because he's a competitor, the best want to fight the best. That's what they supposed to do. Ain't that what she said? Right. You're praising him for coming from 147 all the way up to 168, willing to do that, but you're not willing to go up to 154. You see? So to me, when I commend somebody on something, a lot of times it's because it's like certain things that, like, for example, I don't mind watching pro wrestling, right? When it's done right, it's entertaining, it's funny, it's we know shit is not real. It's right. I learned how to wrestle like Olympic style and that TV type shit that you see or whatever, but we did it out of fun. And my thing was like for me to allow somebody to hit me in the head with a chair for a living. I'm fake fighting is shit is just not it's not for me. So I know that these wrestlers really get injured. They get injured by mistake far more than they do on purpose. But my thing is, that's just not for me, man. If you're gonna beat me or something, you're gonna just have to actually really beat me. I don't want to break character and punch you in the mouth and knock your teeth out because you hit me in the head with a chair a little too hard. Or you understand what I'm saying? Or you try to just get dirty and do something stupid and nah, that's not for me. Now, all that being said, right? Let's look at it this way. If someone is calling your name, content creators, everybody's buying into the story. Now, all of a sudden, the person is scared because somebody said their name, they didn't fight them, and you guys are not even in the same weight class. If you actually step up to the plate like you're supposed to, you have no excuses when you lose. And all that, I was daring to be great. Okay, yeah, whatever. Right, you did what you did. Okay, the results are in. You got your ass whooped. All right, next. So it's just like example. Terrence Crawford versus Canelo. If this fight actually materializes, like it actually happens, look, here's the thing. If Canelo destroys Crawford, I don't care how the fight goes, have it, but if he ends up knocking Crawford out, he destroys Crawford. Nobody cares or want to hear that shit about, but he came up from... No, especially the fact that he's the one pushing for the fight. Now, on the other hand, if Crawford goes in there and beat the shit out of Canelo and do what most people don't think he can do and pull that shit off and not just win, but I mean really fuck Canelo up, right? That would make people go, oh, shit. But then you're going to have Canelo fans going, yeah, but Canelo's not the same. He's old. Hold up. Crawford's older than Canelo. So let's leave all the excuses out and just say the better man won. Because if you have that much confidence in yourself that you're willing to, go up, hey, do it. Now, a fight that I'm hearing about is Madrimov versus Jermaine Ortiz. And you know what the comparison is going to be, right? Which doesn't matter. Because I don't think you'll ever have a Jermaine Ortiz versus Terrence Crawford. Just like a Jaron Boots Ennis versus Terrence Crawford. If anything, you have a better chance of getting Jermaine Ortiz versus Boots Ennis at some point. Because if this fight is actually happening, only thing is this. The only way you might get a Jaron Boots Ennis versus a Crawford, as far as I'm concerned, is... For one, something has to happen and soon where Boots is like that guy. He's a cash cow. Do you see that just happening overnight? Unless you believe in magic. Even if you believe in magic, that's just not happening overnight. Or a situation where Canelo and Crawford don't actually fight. Because I feel like Crawford still has, because Crawford done changed his story so many times. First, I ain't worried about Canelo no more, man. We moving on, right? I done posted the shit. Then next thing you know, he's calling out Canelo again. Then all of a sudden, we ain't thinking about Canelo. So I feel like he don't want to walk away with what he has now. Because even for him, let's just say, for example, him asking for $20 million to fight against Boots. Let's say they don't give him 20. And they say, man, listen, you getting 15 or 10 or 15. Take it or leave it. That's still 10 or 15 million more than what he has now. Do you see what I'm saying? So my thing is, I just don't think Crawford really wants to just walk away right there. Like he wants to, like you said, 1 or 2 fights and that's it. And he named Errol Spence and he named Canelo. And I feel like inside, you're just like, one more payday. Fuck it. You know what? It's not what I wanted. It's less than what I actually wanted. But hey, you know what? It's still a big payday. Let me take that. Now, I feel like it would have to be something like that because that's the whole thing. He is in exit strategy mode right now. So you know his what he's doing and what he's looking at. It's like those guys are not on his radar, man. But that is problematic for boxing because that's just what happens. And you know what? A person don't have to be 38 to have that mentality. Motherfucker be 30 like Tank Davis and still just think it's people they don't have to fight. I'll beat him. So, no, don't tell us. Show us. So, yeah. All of these things. But yeah, I just thought that was dirty, man, for seconds out. I wanted to talk about that. And I thought about these things, so let me get that out there. You know, yeah, you know, and this kind of it goes back to like that whole Rocky Marciano situation too, man, with people, like I said, man, this man said this in 1969. And, you know, somehow people in this era seem to, they always say this shit about everybody for everybody. I'm like, I don't know why y'all keep saying that bullshit. I distinctively remember people not fighting other people and people bragging about it. I told you guys, I saw the video where, even the video where, and this is the crazy part. Mike McCallum, right? He basically told a story about how when he saw Marvin Hagler at some ceremony, he said Marvin Hagler walked up to him and told him, "Hey man, I just wanted to let you know, man, I always respected you and this and that." And he said, Marvin, how you gonna say you respect me and you didn't fight me, man? You chose the Beast Mugabe over me. You know, so this is my point. The Beast Mugabe was making some noise. He was basically a puncher that came in and tried to knock everybody out. And, you know, I believe between the two, at the time, Mike McCallum might have had more popularity. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. But I clearly remember, and I say that because neither one of those guys are like super popular, you know, and the Beast Mugabe gave Marv a fight. You know, that's one of the times you saw Marv try to box him and, you know, skip around his toes a little and he took him out. He was, Marv was doing his thing, but the Beast was bringing that heat to him, you know, and here's the thing. When the Beast Mugabe fought Terry Norris, the Beast was only 30 damn years old. He was 30 years old, and Terry knocked him out in the first round, took his belt. And the way they tried to downplay it, and that's something that I noticed a lot of commentators in the boxing minds did back then. They always would try to say somebody was old. They did it with Sugar Ray when he lost to Terry. He was only 34 years old. You know, they did it when Sugar Ray came back. I forgot the guy name he fought as a middleweight. And people don't remember this. I remember Ray had on all black, just like Tyson. And he was saying, nah, like, you know, I think I'm going to go back down to 147. He says different. The punches are much harder and this and that. And I think that when he did that, he was trying to test the waters to decide if he was going to fight Marvin Hagler or not. You know, but yeah, I mean, and it's always when certain fighters, like certain people, depending on how they, you know, certain eras and certain fighters, the way they're perceived by, different people within the sport, they'll make excuses about them being old. How the hell is somebody? It's so funny because once again, Ray was old at 34, but Floyd wasn't old at 36 when he fought Canelo. And the performance he put on against Andre Berto at 38 years old, people don't understand. It's just like they purposely overlook what somebody can do, what somebody, where they were in their career. I mean, and then you look at fighters that don't even have 40 fights under their belt. Still legends in the sport. They did their thing, but, people pick and choose. And once again, I mean, I did it before. I sat here and gave you guys tons of people, tons of names from the heavyweight division, middleweight, welterweight, all that. Guys that never fought each other. So how the hell do people come up with this everybody for everybody? No. Once again, I'll say, It was easier to get fights done back then. People they fought more. They were hungrier. The money was a lot less. And yeah, they wanted that top dollar. They wanted that top spot. And the further back you go, yeah, guess what? They didn't have all these divisions like they have now. They didn't have all these different sanctioning bodies and all that, from the very beginning to work all the way up to the point where all these things start happening. And it went from giving guys more opportunity to shine and get some recognition. And hey, we got another belt, another belt, another belt. To now I'm a hide behind the belt. I don't need to unify. I don't need to become undisputed. Certain people, everybody's not the same. They always try to make it seem like everybody had the same exact mentality. No. One of the biggest differences, like I said, when you look at those eras of time up until like the 90s, like, yeah, man, these fighters had better skill sets. And they were definitely like there to, they was coming to take heads, man. But all of this nonsense about everybody fought everybody, man, that's just something people say and they repeat it. And if Marciano was saying damn near word for word what I said in 1969, what the fuck era of time are y'all talking about? Like where does all this come from that everybody fought everybody? I'm like, nah, man. People that is one of the most overused comments in boxing. That is one of the most overused comments. No. But yeah, you had a lot more boxing going on. You also understand you didn't have all these pay-per-views, all these different outlets. Basically, so yeah, you took your spot when it came. See, once again, the less they had, the more quantity they gave us, the more quality they gave us. Once the money starts getting bigger and they have all these, this is what, quality goes out the window, quantity comes in. They want more money, but look at who they're fighting. We're getting less quality fights, but the person involved, somebody's getting paid out their ass to go fight a meatball. Hey, man, that's how it is. But once again, man, people trying to stir this tension up between Claressa and Savanna. And I know that it's one of these things where they see Savanna's not been in the ring. She's not been active. She did this PFL fight. She got her second one, whenever it's going to be or whatever. And they're trying to, make some waves, make some noise. And they're going to put a faulty message in there to make it seem like that she's saying her move, that Claressa Shields movie was a load of crap. And that's not what she said. She said that the way she was depicted in the movie, but I don't know what she's talking about because I didn't see the movie. And I'm pretty sure that Shields will have a different take on what happened, what was said. And my thing is, it's not about pick and choose who you want to believe. What's true is what's true. I don't know. And I don't know what she's referencing. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. And, she did say something else in that video, too, that I agree with. As far as Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua fighting, like, why? Why? For what? And this is what I mean. And I feel like boxing is at such a desperate time that, like, you just want to see a fight just to say you got it. I mean, let's look at Kell Brook and Amir Khan. That fight was years late. And both of them had been beaten up badly by other fighters, knocked out, and just like not the same fighter that they was. And, it happened. Who liked the fight liked it. Who didn't. But it didn't have the same sting that it would have had if it happened before. And this is the type of stuff where when I look at it, I'm like, man, listen, man. Every fight that doesn't happen doesn't mean that it needed to. That's a fight that I feel like should have happened a long time ago, and it didn't, between Brook and Amir Khan. And then looking at Anthony Joshua and Fury, it's like, man, for what? For what? If they did it, it doesn't have the same feel. It's not, what it would have been. It's not the Super Bowl. It's not even the Pro Bowl. It's not even a playoff championship game. This is like a fight to get to the playoffs. You know what I mean? It's just around that category. And once the fight starts talking about retirement, like, and especially someone with a big mouth that's known for, always in controversy, and then they're all of a sudden quiet. Yeah, it's best to just go on. You know, um, and I don't know. Like, I'm just the kind of person, man. Like, I don't like that. Like to react in a desperate situation. You know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden, I know the guy I'm fighting is not the same. But if I'm not the same either, the thought is I'm going to beat my body up for training to get in shape to fight somebody who I myself know is not the same. I'm not even the same. Is it just about the payday or what? Because regardless to who win between the two of us, right? And I'm not coming to lose. I'm just saying, let's just think, imagine just putting your head thinking rationally. What are we actually doing this for? Like, where does this lead to? People think that just for fanfare, that fighters are going to just beat them, get their, put themselves through all that punishment just for somebody to ooh and ah. Like, it has to be a payoff, right? But these guys both are coming off losses, big losses, and yeah, it's like it's just for what, man. I mean, she feels the same way. Like, she says some other stuff too with it, but like like certain fights, man, when they were supposed to happen, they didn't happen, and all the excuse making, people sit and look back, and then they like next thing you know, they come popping up in there's some legends match or something. Which who really cares? I know I don't, man. And one of the crazy things, and this is what I paid attention to. About 2 weeks ago, I had read an article, or maybe it was last week. However it went, I read an article, and it said that Frank Warren actually said he don't know what Tyson wants to do, but there's still lots of money to be made. Tyson's still one of the top heavyweights, and he said that Tyson Fury. He said I'm paraphrasing, but he said we were in talks, and Klitschko was talking about coming back, and we're saying, hey, if Klitschko wants to come back, we'll be ready. Klitschko? When was the last time Klitschko fought? Wasn't that when Anthony Joshua stopped him? How much older is Klitschko now than he was then? Now you want to give him the rematch? And what does that do? If Klitschko comes back and you beat him. I mean, Oliver McCall came back. He's 59. And he won his fight. I think he might have won 2 fights by now. Or either the fight is coming. However it is. I mean, how do you just get out of a fight with the heavyweight champ of the world to a fight with a guy who hasn't fought in years? And somehow this is interesting to who? Just saying, man, when people start doing stuff like that, it's the same thing as Wilder coming back talking about fighting Ngannou, and all of a sudden fighting a guy that's not even ranked. It's when you understand, I'm done. And whether it's a guy just stepping up in competition and just can't, like when Wilder made the excuse about his arm was broken, right? It's just like I told you. I said it's impossible for this dude to lose and not make an excuse. Fury made the excuse. He didn't, not a physical thing, but just pretty much, he thought he won both fights basically, but the judges saw otherwise, and he's claiming he didn't lose. So without saying those words, you saying you were robbed. Now Savanna Marshall said she didn't feel like Fury did enough, and he wasn't busy enough. He stood still too much, and that he basically. She felt like Usyk won pretty comfortably. I said the same thing. I don't see where now you can say the first fight was closer than the second fight, but I felt like he won both. I don't, I didn't see he won by a razor's hair. I felt like Usyk did enough to win to where he pulled it out. It's like this. Imagine somebody you racing, right? You're racing side by side, right? And the entire race, you guys are like dead even. But when it gets to that finish line, this motherfucker just goes. You know what I mean? We can see who won that race. He's not right here where you can barely know. We can simple. I thought that Usyk won. Of course, Fury and his fans is, oh, it was like you could have went. No, that shit couldn't win no either way, man. Usyk won that fucking fight, and the second fight, the same thing. And like I told you, I don't care what Fury says he's gonna do. What he's saying he's gonna do, he's not going to be able to sustain for a long fight. So unless he's able to knock Usyk out, I don't see him winning. Now, you never know what can happen in the fight, but I told you guys, look at the punch output between him and Wilder in every fight, and you will see these motherfuckers wasn't throwing a lot of punches. And that's why I said, I don't know what the hell a lot of people be looking at, but they like, I saw the same fights you saw. How the hell you talking about their stamina and how these dudes don't get tough? Like, bro, they was barely throwing shit. And when you engage, and especially when a guy has a reputation, to be a knockout artist, yeah, there's always going to be that, oh, that's what happened. Oh, shit. Oh, he almost caught. Oh, and you know what? This is one of the things I noticed, for example, right? When I watch boxing, I'm watching it. I acknowledge when a shot lands. When a content creator is watching a fight and they're reacting, they do so much exaggeration. Oh, right hand, he's hurt, right? They don't. Now you probably should go, oh, who, they doing all of that. We don't be doing that shit in here. We, just say they're doing all of that. Why? Because they're trying to entertain you, to get you lured in. And I'm saying this because if you don't see the fight yourself, based on those reactions, when you do see the fight, you're expecting it, and then, when you do see it, you'll see like, oh, man, this motherfucker made it sound like it was, but that's what they do. And, for whatever content that people put out that they read or videos that they watch, fighters get gassed up, man. And they really think that they can do the same things. So when I'm saying to you guys, he's not going to fight. Fury's not going to fight Dillian White or anybody else the same way he fought Wilder unless they can't box either. Because he knows Wilder can't box. But Wilder doesn't even have the bare essentials down packed. Wilder is a bare bones rookie style dude that had put fear in people of the right hand. But you see what happened when people don't fear the right hand? And when his Malik Scott and his trainer is saying things like Wilder does brilliant things in training, but for some reason in the fights it didn't come out. Okay. Well, that's because his sparring partners aren't as good as the motherfuckers that he's going to actually fight, And not to mention, I'm pretty sure in sparring, you don't have him in there trying to kill Wilder. They're not in there trying to break him down. They're just in there sparring, just giving him some work. It's different, man. They're not trying to win a fight. They're trying to work on weaknesses, create new things, stuff like that, things of that nature, trying to help develop your fighter. They're not trying to win a fight. You see what I mean? And that's why when sparring wars, where fighters, when they're in sparring and they are trying to get the best of each other, okay, now we're talking about something different. But at the same time, right, if Wilder, it took him this long to finally fight a top guy, why you make it seem like you think Wilder's sparring all these top guys around and all this? No, that's not how that shit works, man. As many times as we heard Wilder and sent sparring partners to the hospital, you don't think that we would have heard about who these people are? Just saying, y'all. It is what it is, man. And I'm going to close this video on that note. Just wanted to bring this up, man, and talk about some things. But they're trying so hard to create some beef between Claressa and Savanna all over again. And for Shields, she don't need to worry about what people are saying. Oh, I don't even know these heavyweights. Well, yeah, you don't even know half the women that box. Who does? They're not popular. It's not we're not stupid, man. The women's movement, the women this, the women that. But you notice how when these women talk about each other, half of them try to tear each other down, but yet they always, the women's movement. It is what it is, man. And looking at Claressa's side of things, I wouldn't be worried about nothing nobody fucking saying. I become undisputed at heavyweight, and my whole thing would be to Savanna Marshall, anybody else. Well, if these women are so easy or whatever it is, and why didn't you do what I did? Why nobody's knocking on your door? Why you didn't become heavyweight champion? Why you didn't come and become undisputed? And even if you don't know somebody, doesn't mean you can beat them. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. And this is what I'm saying. So, Claressa took the big bad boogie woman and beat her like she was just anybody else. She dominated. By far, it wasn't even close. So there's no, oh, she deserves it. No, it's just who else is left at 168? Well, what happens if Claressa becomes undisputed at heavyweight? Then she drops down to 154. What's Savanna going to do then? More than likely focus on her PFL because she has 3 more fights left with them. She had a 4-fight deal, right? And until then, when is she getting back in the boxing ring? You see what I mean? Then when she... So that's what she's going to have to figure out. Because the truth of the matter is, if... And Savanna is even bigger than Claressa. So I don't see Savanna being able to go down to 154. She's at 168 now. I don't see her being able to do it in a healthy way. I don't know. So my thing is, if you guys are asking Shields to come down to 147 from 168, well, shit, then Savanna Marshall can come down to 154. You see what I'm saying? And that way, guess what? Anybody willing to step up to fight at 154 could fight Savanna Marshall. They could fight Shields. And if you go to say that Savannah's too big for them, then you still have to say the same thing for Shields if that's the case. But then you can't say shit because you guys want to see these fights so bad that, it doesn't matter how it gets done as long as it gets done. But the thing is, people think that they know the bigger you are, you're at disadvantage by coming down and losing so much weight. If it's not necessary, if it don't make sense, don't do it. That's what I say. And I really don't care to see a lot of the fights that other people clamor to see. But, it's just one of the best fights in this scenario for this weight class, for this division, or, the women's division or whatever, whoever. That's really what it comes down to. And, well, yeah, Shields and Savanna, don't fall for the bullshit. And, whatever's going on between the two of you, 1 minute you guys are smiling, chilling. The next minute, people are saying stupid shit to you guys and you feed into it. And then you start saying shit to each other. And, it is what it is. It's childish, it's petty shit, man. I miss watching grown-up activity. I feel like I'm watching a bunch of kids nowadays. That's the men, the women, and damn near everything that we watch. It's just like, what happened to the grown people, man? I don't know. Anyway, that's all I got for y'all right now. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. And I will catch y'all on the next video.